So,
Okay, we're live.
yes.
For those of you who know me a lot, you know how much I love technology. Lori's giving me a round of applause because she knows I am so excited to be with you guys here on this incredible weekend. Thank you for joining this masterclass. Noon and on time and ready to learn. Let me just tell you why I'm calling. I'm calling out this. Uh-oh, no. Okay.
You need to mute your YouTube.
I need to mute my YouTube.
Yeah, so you don't hear
Okay,
yourself.
okay, okay. I'm getting it, you guys. Okay, did I do it?
Yes. I think, yep, because you're talking and you're not hearing feedback, right?
You too can be a great success. I'm just here to tell you, you can do a great success. I don't know if you're like me, you require a lot of help, a lot of help, a lot of help, a lot of help. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys this joke. I'm gonna tell you this joke because I want to make sure that you understand how successful you can become. Okay, so my girlfriend, who I went to Africa with a couple of years ago, she loves this story. She loves this story. Okay, so Ken was having an operation. And before you go into operation, you want to have all the notes and I had my piece of paper. I was ready to take notes. What am I supposed to do to support you for sure? He said, okay, Gloria, I just want you to know I do not want to be in a vegetable state. No matter what happens to me, I don't want to be in a vegetable state. So if I cannot think for myself, I just not what I want. I said, okay, so I was taking notes. I said, okay. Okay, so what do you want me to do if you can think for yourself? He said, call my son Keenan because you don't know nothing. It's so funny. He's like, okay, you're not getting it at all. So I just wait, let me fix my camera here. Okay, so I just want to let you guys know everybody needs help. Everybody needs help. This is all about working hard and not winning. Working hard. Who here can identify with me when I talk about I'm working hard. I'm planning hard. I got my notebook out. I'm doing what I think I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm not reaching the goals. I know I'm there to be reached. You know, if you're feeling me on this, just put something in the chat. Just put something in the chat because I really want to warm up this chat. I want to warm you guys up. I want you to tell me where you're listening from. I just want to see where you're coming from, what's going on, and what's going to happen. Like, when are we going to win? When are we going to win? I want to tell you what's really on my heart right now, as well as what you're talking about. Let me just see who's here. Californians in the house, Michigan's in the house. I am loving it. I'm loving it. Arizona's in the house. Arkansas's in the house. New York's in the house. People are like, yes, yes, Gloria, you're talking. Virginia's in the house. Everybody's talking. Everybody's talking. And you guys, we're getting ready to go make sure we pull in the international group. We got in South Dakota, Wood. I know you get that a lot when you hear South Dakota, like, okay. So here's the truth. We're at a point in the year where it matters. Have any of you said, oh my word, I am not entering the new year the way I entered it this year? Like, I want to be at a whole different plane. And so, what I really believe is successful women want to do three things. They want to increase their influence, they want to increase their impact, and they want to increase their income. And I want you guys to write this down. If you don't take anything else from me, I want you to understand why this is important. Number one, when you increase your influence, you increase your purpose. You really get a better handle on why you're doing what you're doing, and you're less likely to give up. You're less likely to procrastinate if you understand the purpose. And your purpose is driven by the amount of influence you allow yourself to have. And then when you think about impact, impact is how you track yourself and how you cause yourself to be accountable. When you see your impact, you see specifically what you're doing. You see specifically how it is making a difference. And when you see how it's making a difference, it gives you the energy to get back up and do more of it. And then income. The reason your income is important is because that's a direct relationship to your freedom. The amount of freedom that you have, the amount of choices that you have, the amount of generosity that you have. And I don't just mean generosity in terms of money, but generosity in terms of your energy, generosity in terms of your kindness, generosity in terms of your less stress, generosity in the way that you can help other people make more decisions, make more generosity. So I really want you to understand why I am so strong about increasing your influence, increasing your impact, and increasing your income. None of those we can promise, right? None of those we can give promise. But what I know for sure is if you start working with me and you follow these programs, it definitely will grow. It's impossible for you not to do something and not gain something, both negatively and power and positively. Therefore, if you complain more, you're going in a wrong direction. I hear something, a couple things that I've been listening to. Number one, I want to tell you this. I used to hear people say, change is hard, change is hard, change is hard. And I was like, no, it's not hard. Stop saying that it's hard. Well, guess what? It's hard. Change is hard. However, we know this saying that when the pain of staying the same, when the pain of staying the same hurts more than the change, you'll change. But the biggest thing that makes hard for change, you guys, and once you get this, it's really impactful. What makes change really hard is when you understand that it's to make change easy, all you have to focus on is not making the same decision over and over and over again. Change the decision and you'll change so much more. Okay, so I don't know why. You guys, give me a minute. This is okay. I hope this is okay, great. Okay, so change is number one. Number two, when you're frustrated, when you're upset, especially at your performance, you're very focused on the past. Remember this, when you're upset, you're frustrated, you're judging others, you're complaining, you are stuck in the past because you're thinking about what happened yesterday or 3 years ago or 2 hours ago, and you cannot move forward if you're stuck in the past. The other thing I want you to know that I'm really focused on is that when you're angry or when other people's opinions matter to you, you're using your ego. And ego stands for edging God out. Now, I want to talk to you a lot in this because I tend to understand that as you teach successful, ambitious women, they're in sales. Whether they're selling a product, whether they're selling an idea, whether they're selling a vision, I don't care whether you're a nurse, you sell real estate. It may not be the description of your profession, hear me when I speak, but we are all selling something all the time. And so you have to understand that when you understand that you're in sales, there's a process to become better at it. No matter what you're selling, there's a process. So I'm here specifically to help you think differently, sell differently, and execute differently. Because when you understand that different is required to grow, you stop getting stuck in yesterday's assignment. That's why we're working hard and not winning because we keep thinking and doing the same things, expecting different results and going nutso. Okay, here's something you have to know. Put it in the chat if you agree with me. Put in the chat. I can learn. I can learn. I don't care how stubborn you are. I don't care how much you procrastinate. I don't care how you can say to yourself, I never done it before. I never done it before. I never done it before. I never done it. Let me tell you something. Everything we've ever done in life, we've never done it before. I remember when I was building and people would say, well, I've never been to that part of town. I know. That's why you're going to that part of town because you've never been over that part of town. So the way in which you respond to people's reactions is very important. And if you want to be a strong leader, Your response to them in terms of what they say and the way that they think and what they see, what they bring, their background, your response to them is what matters the most. Tell me if you like sports. And if you do, tell me in the chat what's your favorite sport? What's your absolute favorite sport? I'm gonna go over here to YouTube and see what they have to say. What's your favorite sport? I love this. Y'all over here, like I can learn, I can learn, I can learn. I can. What's your favorite sport? Please tell me. Some of y'all like sports. Do you have any idea how hard the sports world is working to bring women into the sports arena? Brandy's like, yep, I see it. Yeah, yesterday, I don't know where we were, but I saw two women opening up a hockey game. A hockey game? Two women on the mic talking about they were the commentators. But I said, oh, they're serious about coming. Okay, so let me tell you. Okay, so let me tell you what y'all said. Basketball, softball, basketball, football, basketball, tennis. Yes, football. I said yes because I like the diversity, but ask me if I know about tennis. I do not. Okay, swimming. Okay, softball. Then she's like, oh, the WNBA. Yes. Okay, I get excited. Okay, so let me tell you why I'm excited for those of you who like sports. And let me tell you how those of you who may not be that into rock climbing, for real, who said that? Okay. Climbing. Okay. That's unique. Okay. The reason is because I want you to become accustomed at listening to what champions do. Do me a favor. Become accustomed at watching and listening to what champions do. For me, football's my favorite. In fact, I just came back from London and we did a big gala and I had on black and purple and somebody walked up to me and said, I see your Ravens outfit. I was like, it wasn't my intention, but it's obviously something that's in my soul to wear purple and black because that's the Baltimore Ravens colors. But to me, I get inspired by how they change to reach their new destination. Coaches change to reach the new destination. Champions change. Lamar, I mean, LeBron changes, Lamar changes, whoever your sports person is. Um, I was watching something. Who's the big tennis star? The woman who's like the big tennis star. What's her name? You guys know her name. Like the number one tennis player woman. She's like 80 years old now. Oh, what's her name? You guys know who I'm talking about. I'm going over here. Okay. Well, bottom line is she just at 80 some years old just finished college with the black hair, not Martina. Um, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, she just finished college. The reason I bring that up is champions finish. Champions finish. And guess what else they do? They love hard. They love the hard. If you find yourself running away from what's challenging, you have to. Billie Jean King, thank you, Brandy. Billie Jean King. Even if you had to go to Chat GPT, okay, whatever, whatever you had to do. Billie Jean King, you guys, 80 some years old. She just got her college degree. She finishes. Now, here's why I want to bring this up because I want you to know that sometimes when you're working hard and you're not winning, it's because you're not finishing. Because you talk yourself out of it because you're so concerned with other people's opinions. Let's be honest here. Other people's opinions are killing us. We spend so much time. Who can really relate to me? Who can really understand that? I'm so concerned with what she's going to say, what she's going to think. That's why you can't close deals because you don't even ask to close deals because of what is she going to think about me or what is he going to think about me. And I'm just here to tell you that when you get so frustrated and so obsessed with the wrong thing, what other people's opinions, when this is what I used to say to myself. Okay, you want to give me your opinion, that's great. My response to your opinion was like this. Everybody practice with me, just come on. This is the response. And then they look at you like, that's your opinion. Okay, that's your opinion. It's not going to change what I'm passionate about doing. But if you explain your circumstances to people's opinions, you lower your self-worth. Period. End of conversation. And let me tell you what I always tell leaders. What I'm telling you guys today might be for you, and what I'm telling you today might be for someone you lead. But you have to know. You also have to know where you have self-doubt. I'm going to ask you in that workbook that the VIPs are getting, you guys, the VIPs, they upgraded. You can still upgrade if you're on YouTube right now and you're in the free registration, but you want to upgrade to have the opportunity to have a Q&A with just me to talk about your circumstance. And VIPs, please understand, I'm going to put some of you guys on blast today because people learn from what's going on with you, and we want to do that. So make sure that you decide if you want to just put VIP, please send me the VIP link. We can see the VIP link because you want more attention on your time. If you're going to give us this time, you might as well get the most of it. And I always tell people, remember this, before you excel, you see yourself excelling. And that's why my VIPs grow, because they put themselves in the place and the space where they can be shifted. Put yourself in the place and the space where you can be shifted. What we want to do here today, the reason you're on this masterclass is because you have decided that I've got skills, I've got ambition, I've got talents that God gave to me. He gave me talents. He didn't give me her talents, and he didn't give me her talents, and he didn't give me her talents, but he gave me my talents, and I want to know how to use my talents. I want to be strong enough to not let my self-doubt hold me back from what I'm supposed to do so I can help myself, my family, and my community so that I can increase my impact, increase my influence, increase my income so I can increase my purpose, increase my tracking and accountability, and increase my freedom. And it starts right now, today. It starts, you guys, listen to me carefully. It starts with the decision to invest in yourself. You decided, I'll be here, I'm listening to this masterclass, and I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to take notes, and I'm going to be clear about what I'm doing. And remember, I come hard for two reasons. I come hard, number one, because that's how I like it delivered to me. I don't like the fluff. I like it straight. Anybody relate? I love it straight. I love it hard. Okay, the second reason I do it like that is because that's the only way I know how to deliver it. It's straight and hard. And I do believe that's how I grew so many superstars in this business, in my business and beyond. You know, when I was at Harvard Business School, I did that whole self-doubt thing, that self-doubt thing about, am I here? Am I supposed to be here? With the dyslexic background that I had, I was always questioning myself. And so that's how I know how impactful self-doubt can be and how I know you can erase self-doubt. One of the most powerful things that you can use to erase self-doubt is the clarity of where you want to go. And not just the clarity of where you want to go, where do you want to go next? That's why I ask people all the time, what is your next right now passionate goal? What is your next right now? Ask yourself that. What's my next right now passion goal? And is it 3 steps up or 5 steps up? Because that's where you get lost in the sauce. One of the things I want you to put in big letters if you're taking notes is that this is called the number one performance code. I'm going to talk about the number one performance code. For me to achieve the number one spot in my company that had 3.5 million women, that was in 40 countries, I built in 8 international countries and broke so many records from first being someone who missed goals. Yes, I used to miss a lot of goals all the time. It's called massive headache. Anybody relate? Massive headache. Are you kidding me? There's a headache associated when you know you're capable and it's not showing up. When your family's looking at you like tick, 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 you said you was gonna do this, like, hello, you said you was gonna win, hello. And I don't see it. Like, how many know what I'm talking about? It's just so completely frustrating. And then when I understood, what I'm gonna teach you guys today about the performance code, and I used it over and over again, so many records were broken. Qualifications were broken. The largest personal team was broken. The largest personal unit was broken. The number one earner in the whole company was achieved, and not only achieved as the number one earner, the most made average, if you divide what I made by the average years I was there, it was there. And that's one of the reasons Harvard Business School wrote a case study on me. They came, they followed me around, they interviewed me. Write this word down: forever. When I tell you forever, I was like, I, who has that many questions? I thought I was good at answering questions, but they asked me so many questions. And then years later, you know how things happen to you in the moment and you don't understand why? But years later, I understood why, because they sold this case study to so many other schools. I had no idea. I thought when Harvard came to interview me and to write this case study on me, which was totally amazing, that it would be for Harvard, which was the school that I went to. But no, they then sell it to all the other business schools. And it goes in there. And so they want to ask me a lot of questions because then they create it for their audience. Write that down. Create for your audience. Create for the audience. One of the things that you're going to learn how to do when you talk about how to sell best is to be able to read the person that's in front of you. So many times you get so stuck on what you're supposed to say that you forget to read the person that's in front of you. And so we're going to talk about the way you think, the way you sell, and the way you execute, the way you think about the goals and the things, the journey you want to bring your clients through. How I sell, what's important about what I sell. And listen, you guys, the key to becoming strong in sales is learning how to hit the release button. The reason people can't sell a lot is because they're so emotionally attached to the outcome instead of attached to the request. Be attached to the request. Be attached to who you're serving. Be attached to who identify. Like for me, it took me a minute to come bold and say, I want to work with the successful, ambitious woman. I'm not necessarily there to work with the beginner. I can work with the beginner. I have worked with the beginner. There was a time when it was my calling to work with the beginner. But through my journey, I am now called to work with women who see themselves as very successful and have hit that ceiling where they have to have a breakthrough. And I hope you guys can relate. You've had success before, or you've been further than you are now, and you want to get back there and you want to do it now, like right now. Gloria, what do I do right now? And the first thing I'm going to tell you is know where your next right now passionate goal is and learn the art of being obsessed about it. There's power in an obsession. And you guys, when I talked about watching the champions, when I tell you the champions know the power of obsession in the moment. They don't have to be obsessed forever. They don't have to shut out their family and their friends. But when they're there to do a job, are you able to focus on what you're there to give? Or are you always diverted with life's distractions? Are you always diverted with life's thoughts and self doubt? Are you always diverted with comparison? Write that down. Am I always diverted with comparison? Always trying to figure out why somebody else is doing this, that, and the other, and why I can't do it. And therefore, you don't talk in your true self. You hide your power. You hide your energy. You hide your force, and you hide your ability to pivot. Because when you're going down a path, you have to find the right path. And to find the right path, you have to go like this. It's like a rudder. It's not always the most obvious thing in front of you. You've got to be willing to try this and try that and try this. That's how you become strong at sales. It's because I'm trying this opening, I'm trying this close, I'm trying this product, I'm trying this vision, I'm trying this line of questioning, I'm trying that line of questioning. And you can laugh. Your ability to laugh at yourself brings people closer to you because perfection is not achievable. And every time you think that they're looking for you to be perfect, you're beating yourself up. And it's a real problem. You know, but I do want to say that obsession also brings excellence. Being obsessed but doing a great job brings excellence because that increases your desire to practice. That increases your desire to do right. Okay, so for me, Gloria Mayfield Banks, I am like very passionate for certain reasons because in September we celebrate 30 years of marriage and a lot of other things that we're celebrating. I know. So ain't nobody trying to be flabby. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to get tight, tight, tight. So every day I rank my eating. Like yesterday, I got a D minus because I had a glass of wine and oh, I had a bag of potato chips. Oh my God. A whole bag, not a few. I can't. How many of you can relate with me? Like, you're driving down the street, you see McDonald's, you know their French fries are good. You know their French fries are good, but it doesn't fit the food uh, thing that you set up for yourself. So you go past the McDonald's. Next thing you know, your car is in the giant parking lot, and you walk in there and you get a bag of potato chips. And you eat them all so you don't have to share them with your husband when you get home. I don't care if you've been married for 30 years, you don't want to share. Okay. So I got a D minus. I gave myself a D minus, but I rank myself because I choose to be accountable so I can make the changes. Are you guys with me? I laugh and I'm not going to beat myself up about it. It's always a better day where I can make different choices. That's why I tell you guys, making changes means different choices. And people choose over and over again. And you go back to that number one performance code because here's what I know. This is so important, you guys. You got to get this. You have to acknowledge what you know. What I know for sure is that I can get to my destination. What I know for sure is for me to get to that destination, it's food for that particular thing I'm doing. What I know is that I'm not going to always be perfect, but I'm going to be way better than I was the day before. Right? And so but the key here is what do you know? What do you know for sure? And where on the other end of that is the self doubt? Because it's in the self doubt you got to remove. So I was saying that to say that I told the story before about this man who, okay, so we were in Bali. Yeah, we were in Bali and we were at this amazing resort. I could tell, you guys, you can tell who the leaders are. This guy was leading the resort. Obviously, he was head of the resort. I went over there and asked him some questions. And I asked him straight up. When I want to know something, I go straight. Are you in charge? He said, yeah, I am. I'm in charge of the whole thing. I said, all of it? He says, all of it. So we started talking. He said he just moved to Bali. He absolutely loved it. We talked back and forth about that. He moved from Tokyo. I had just left Tokyo. So we talked back and forth about that. And then he said he used to be at this big resort in Tokyo. And he was really shaken by a man who makes mangoes. And this man makes 50 mangoes. 50. He said they were the most delicious, sweetest, perfect mangoes. So he said to the guy, I have VIPs here all the time. I can buy a ton of mangoes if you make them. The guy said, I don't want to make a ton of mangoes. I only want to make 50 of the best mangoes. And when I finish that crop, I make another 50 of the best mangoes. And he says, I'm happy with my income. I'm happy with my lifestyle. I want to make 50 of the best mangoes. Now, okay, so you do know this guy was making tons of money because now he can charge whatever he wants for the 50 mangoes, right? Here's the key here. Think about those three areas I talked about: influence, impact, income, right? I'm all the way over here telling his story to all of you guys. It changed my life because of his perfection. It'll change your life because of it. The influence was big. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why when I talk to you guys and I talk about working but not winning, some of you have to get on social media and you're too afraid to get on social media because of people's opinions of you. And you're killing your ability to influence. Some of you, when you're asked to take the mic, don't take the mic. I don't know what I'm going to say. Instead of going for it and doing, write this down, doing the uncomfortable. In order to increase your influence, you have to do the uncomfortable. And you have to know, not think, but you have to know that no matter where I'm uncomfortable, no matter if I do something over and over and over again, I eventually will become really good at it. Whatever you do over and over and over again, you will become good at it. Whatever you give up on, you'll never gain. So his accountability was to himself for 50 mangoes. His accountability was to his clients to give them the best mango. He's tracking the fact that he has the best mango. If you know you have the best mango, what happens to the price of your mangoes? Right? What service are you guys giving? This is so important because you know how people are talking right now about branding, 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 branding. Every one of you has your own individual brand. Each one of you has your own individual. But what do you think people are saying about you? I used to teach this all the time. I used to say, when you're in a group of women, let's say it's 4 or 5 women and you're in that group, and then you walk away from the group because you want to go on to the rest of the party. Trust me, those other people that are still in the group are talking about you when you walk away. They're looking at you, they're talking about you. It can be very positive if you decide what you want them to say about you. I have always wanted people to say about me, about my energy, about my kindness, about my smile. This smile that people talk about, this $1 million smile, is something that I've worked on. You guys have to decide what is your gift to give to the world. Don't let other people brand you, brand yourself. And don't let fear get in your way. This mango guy, his income, he wasn't going after income. He said his income was great. But guess what happened to his income? Boom, it went up. You guys, listen. Okay, so right now the championship is going on, and Mitchell is playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Can't even say it. Bottom line is he makes $150 million, 3-year contract, $50 million to be a champion basketball player. You can't take anything away from him. He's bringing the audience. He's bringing the energies. He's doing. Are you guys with me? This is what champions do. He's working hard and he's winning. Let's take some advice from these people. Okay, so let's get into this because I really want to make sure that you understand these points that I bring to you. Okay, so this is when you pray. Gloria, share your screen. Wait a minute. This is when you pray. Okay. Okay. Nobody move. Okay. Oh, I got it. Okay. Okay. Nobody move. Everybody gets to be brilliant right about now. Okay, hold on. Okay. Can you see it?
We can see it.
VIPs? Yeah.
Looks
Okay,
good.
great. Okay. Working hard, not winning. Why you're working so hard but not seeing the results that you want with me. I'm excited. Okay. So let's go into these categories that'll make a difference. You're working hard, but things but not on the right things. Okay. Performance code number 1 says, you guys got that? Got that? You're working hard, but not on the right things. That goes back to a little bit of what I was saying before, which is, I'm opening this up, which is, are you working super hard on something that's 3 steps away or 5 steps away, but not what's right in front of you? Are you so afraid that if I do something small, I'll lose, as opposed to let me get this skill set down? Let me get this thing immediately done so I don't have to keep worrying about it. I always say that when you're building something big, there's several different skills you have to grasp. But if you're trying to grab all the skills all at the same time, you're going to get very disappointed. But if you master the top 2 or 3 skills, this is like that stick with the ball on top of it, and you're getting it right, and then you add another skill and you add another scoop. Pretty soon, all the balls are turning at the right time because you've mastered the different skills. Are you working on what's right, or are you working on what's comfortable? And the strategy that you're working on, because here's what I want you to do, is increase your focus in the right arena. If you increase your focus in the right arena, you will not get trapped by spending your reels. Here's April, then it's June, then it's August, then it's October, and you're still working on the same thing. And let me just say this to you. I want you to go back and think, and don't start crying, but I want you to go back and think, what was your income 6 months ago? What was your income 6 months ago? And are you elated with the movement of your income from then to now? Because your income is your measuring stick. That's all it is. Money is the measure of the pleasure you put in the lives of others. So it's real important that we increase your focus in the right spot. Okay. Okay, here we go. You don't have clear weekly, a clear weekly standard, a clear weekly standard. So instead, you're reacting instead of leading. And the important piece of that is no one's going to follow you without clearly weekly standards. It's the execution and the rhythm of what you're doing over and over and over again. And I want to give you some proof on this. I want you to think forward into some people that you admire. And I want you to see what is it about them that you admire, and they're going to see, what you're going to see is consistency. Consistency in the right arena, 10 years, 20 years. Does it change? It absolutely changes because you get more support, you have a bigger vision, you have escalated wisdom, your experience is stronger. But here's what stays the same. They figure out the week and they lead with what they want to accomplish. They figure out the week and they lead with what they want to accomplish. What they figure out changes. What they want to accomplish changes. But what they're focusing on in terms of the week, they're not trying to do it, 12 years from now. But what happens this week? Because here's what happens. A good day makes good weeks. Good weeks make good months. Good months make good quarters. And then the half year and then the year. And it goes over and over and over again. But they are very strong, write this down, in the execution of their week. It's not confusing. Let me tell you something. Some of you who have been following me for a while, I'm excited. Some of you who are brand new with me, I want to tell you, I came up with something that's called the zip code, and has been something that has really shown people how to increase their confidence. That's what it really does. It increases people's confidence substantially. But what it is a system that says This is what you need to do daily, weekly to see the results. Call the zip code. It's 52631. 52631. And it's what you do 5 times every day. It's having 2 new bookings of any sort every day. It's 6 new clients every week. And you get to define what that is. Because at the beginning, it could be small clients, and the end, it could be $1 million clients. You define the clients. It doesn't stop other people from coming in. You define that. It's three quality conversations every week. And it's one form of accountability to someone that can take you higher. We can go into that a little bit later, but I want to make sure that you understand that that's an example of what that looks like. Let me get this for you. Okay. Number 3, you're inconsistent, not capable. Okay, so many people came up to me and said, Gloria, when you taught this, it changed a lot of people's lives. And if you get this, you guys, it increases your belief, it increases your imagination, and therefore it increases your results. Okay? You're inconsistent, not incapable. Stop calling it lack of skill, because it's not lack of skill. It is lack of the same effort over and over and over again. And so when you think about the repetition of doing something over and over again and never getting tired, let me tell you how you never get tired. You never get tired of it because the people that you're dealing with always change. What you do doesn't always change, but who you're doing it with changes. I've had, a couple of assistants. In fact, one of my assistants today is graduating from Yale, getting her master's degree in business. When she was working with me for a while, she saw some things about the way that I worked that she wanted. And so she decided to go back to school and get those skill sets. Talk about influence. I didn't even know I was influencing her in that mechanism. I didn't know that. But who you be, listen to me carefully, you guys. Who you be magnifies all the time, over and over and over again. When you're strong, your imagination becomes stronger. Your ability to believe becomes stronger. And your ability to dream becomes stronger. And your dream is tied to other people's dreams. And other people will tie things to your dream. And you just have to know that. But most important, I honestly believe that one talent that God gave me was I have an ability to see the strength of women. I'm not wondering if they can. I sit around and wonder if they will. Because I know that they can. But where they're missing it is in the inconsistency, which what duplicates their doubt, which what makes them feel like they're not capable. And how many of you understand this is a vicious cycle? Then you go to an event, you get fired up, excited, love it, try it, fail, stop it, wonder about it, look at other people winning. How many know what I'm talking about? Then go to another event, get all excited, start doing it, fall down. It's the inconsistency. It's how do you keep picking yourself up with that same type of energy and doing it over and over again until you do it well. When you do it well and other people say no, they don't want it or whatever, it's okay because you're doing the right offer. You guys with me? It's in the inconsistency. So what thing can you start doing consistently? Like for me, I track my food consistently. So when I eat the potato chips, I put it on the app. My trainer sees it. She rolls her eyes. I pay her anyway, so she got to work me out anyway, whether you like me or not. Because I know she's like, Gloria said blah, 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 blah. But I'm willing to be accountable, even when it's painful. even when it's painful. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Next point. You avoid the work that actually grows your business. Round of applause on this one. You avoid the work that actually grows your business. Sales conversations, follow up, recruiting, team building, hard conversations, getting help, getting support. How about this one? How about this conversation? Write this down. The conversation of lack. I can't. I won't. I can't afford it. That's one of the killers, you guys. When you avoid the work that actually grows your business, the conversations that could be challenging or scary, we all do it. We just avoid it at different levels. See, what I want you to understand from me is that I know you can shine. I know you can shine brighter than you're shining right now. I know that you can. But I'm going to force you, if I could, to look at the arena, the plethora of choices that are in front of you, and to decide for yourself which one. You know, that one thing we've heard it talk about all the time, the one thing that you, if you did it over and over again, it would make everything else unimportant. If you did this one thing over and over and over again, and sometimes it takes a long time to get it, but once you start doing it over and over again and you become consistent, it then becomes easy. So I want you to think about, what could you be avoiding? What magnificent thing would make a huge difference in your business, but you keep avoiding making that happen? Okay. Number 5, you're overthinking instead of deciding. You're overthinking instead of making a decision. Delay kills momentum. If you take one piece from this masterclass, it is, how do I become a faster decision maker? How do I stay in that space where I'm okay with yes or no, but thinking about it is a very painful place. You do not want to become someone who keeps saying, I'm gonna think about it, 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 and therefore you become indecisive. It's way better to make a decision, go for it, and if it's a bad decision, you fix it. If it's a good decision, you're anchored in it. How many of you all know life is short? Life is so short. And when you're on that bed for the very last time, the last thing you want to be thinking about is the regret from not being decisive. Because of what? Other people's opinions. The last thing. So it's really important that you become decisive. And it was one of the top things I learned at Harvard Business School. If I could give all that education, all that money to you, it would be, how do I become a strong decision maker? How do I not get stuck in, what do you think? Well, 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 what do you think? And I become a decision maker. And if I'm going to talk to somebody and fear takes over, you ask them anyway. If I'm going to close them, you ask them anyway. Who was it? I was somebody that, it was some documentary I was watching about a woman who, oh, it wasn't a documentary. Meryl Streep was talking about how long it took her to get paid the way she should get paid as an actress because she was too afraid to ask for her worth. And the minute she asked for her worth, they were like, oh, yeah, absolutely. She missed like 20 years of fabulous income because she was too afraid to ask for her worth. It's in the decision. It's a good decision or a bad decision, but make a decision because it's costing you a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of impact. Okay, you're emotionally attached to the outcomes. Ups and downs equal inconsistency, but mostly it is the emotional attachment to something you have no control over. If I was a crier, which I am not, I would cry for y'all right now because I know for a fact that next quantum leap, that break through the ceiling, that being successful, that $100,000 a year to $200,000 a year to $300,000 a year to $400,000 a year, and on is laid right there in your emotions. I know Charlene. She was like, mm. I mean, right? You're feeling me, right? You guys are feeling me because you know how many times you stayed in the bad space. For all of you guys who are not in my VIP, you need to upgrade right now. You need to upgrade right now. Get into my VIP right now because I'm getting ready to talk to my VIPs and you don't want to miss it. And they get to ask me questions and you don't want to miss it. And you don't want to miss the workbook that they're going to get. So if you're not a VIP, just go ahead and ask to be a VIP and decide for yourself that you're worth it because you do not any longer want to be attached to the emotional to the emotions that deal with the outcome. Listen to me carefully. Your emotions should drive the outcome, not sustain the outcome. Someone poops on your parade and you stay down in the dumps about it far too long. It doesn't mean that you don't get disappointed. It doesn't mean that you don't get distracted. It means that whatever happens doesn't hold you in that capacity so long that the sun comes up and goes down and comes up and goes on and goes. And by the time you wake up, it's the following week. And guess what? Here's the kicker. This is how I don't get caught up in emotions because I know they're not thinking about you. I say to myself, they're not thinking about me anymore. All that energy I was caught on to. Oh my God, I hurt their feelings. Oh my gosh, they hurt my feelings. They're not thinking about you. They're not thinking about you. They're going on with their life. They said no, they said no, they said yes, they said yes, they said, yeah, I'm gonna come about. I was talking to another person that I know really well, and she was so tied up with her friends not embracing her decision. Anybody relate? My friends, I thought they were, what about this one? I thought they were my friends. I thought they were my friends. Yeah, they're your friends, but they don't agree with you. They disagree with you. They don't want to do what you do, and you want to do it. You don't want to do everything that they do. You didn't buy their house. You don't have their hair color. You don't do the same thing that they do. But we get so emotionally detached. I mean, attached that we don't know how to become detached from their emotions or from your emotions and therefore the outcome. It causes ups and downs. And it's a very painful place to be. Not good. Not good. Okay. Number 7, you don't track what matters. Okay, here's what I want to promise you. Pick something to track that has to do with your next, right now, passion goal. Pick one thing to track. One thing, Charlene. One thing, Lori. Just one thing. Pick one thing to track that's associated with your next passionate goal, the next goal you choose to get obsessed with. And watch how quickly the results change. Because if you don't measure it, you can't fix it. And I'm here to tell you that it matters so completely when you track what you're doing. And at first, can we be clear? There's a little dissatisfaction because you want to be better. You want to be better, but you just can't always get better. Just like that. It doesn't work like that. But you will get better if you keep doing it. Okay. Number 8, you're doing it alone. Isolation slows growth. This is a big one for women. Let me say this to you. Okay, let me just underline it. You're doing it alone. You're doing it alone. You're doing it alone. Let me say this to you. You know how people can be lonely. They can feel so lonely. Here's what I want to tell you. You can be with a bunch of people and still be lonely, right? And you can be by yourself and never be lonely. It's the mindset that we're working on, the decisions that we're working on, and it is the people that we choose to allow in our circle. Go on and say it's super bad all day long. Go on and say we're super bad all day long, because in the super bad all day long community, where you get lifted up, you get a community of women who are unapologetically powerful. Unapologetically powerful. You become unapologetically powerful. And there's power in it. You guys, I mean, I've given it, I've taken it. When someone has says, "Go, you got to change. You got to change your look. You got to change your hair. You got to change your makeup." Y'all, early on, my makeup was a hot mess. And had nobody had a problem telling me that it was a hot mess. But I had to change. I had to learn. I had to move closely. But doing it alone, I would have never found out if I wasn't around the right people at the right time, telling me I needed to change. So I'm going to ask you, look at your circle. Who's in your circle? You guys look at your text messages. Who are the last 15 people who text you? And do you want to be in their circle? Or are you tolerating their circle? If it's family members, can't do nothing about that. But everybody else, we get to decide. So who's in your circle? And how long are you going to let them stay in there if they don't belong in that circle of yours? Number 9, your standards are too flexible. You negotiate with yourself and you negotiate with people you're leading. It's a really big deal. It's a really big deal when you don't hold your standards high. Let's start with yourself. How you look when you go into the office or when you start your entrepreneurial business. How do you sound at the word hello? Hello, hello, or hello. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but it's true. It really is true. Your standards, how you dress, how you walk into the room, how you handshake, how you smile. What kind of evidence do you give people? I'm going in the right direction and you should go with me. What are you doing to attract the person you want? Are you telling the people who are in your space, this is what I'm attracting? Are you bold about it or are you being very reserved about it? Because it's really important. Your identity and the standards associated with it should never fall. And I'm going to ask you to take a look at your last 6 months and ask yourself, what standards have I put in place? What standards will I not shrink? What standards did I have that I gave up on? Right? Standard of excellence. For me, it wasn't always having a big week in sales because I was in sales before and I had big sales over there because the dang on thing cost $4 million. So that was big sales. But over here, in order for me to be consistent, I had to figure out a consistent place for me to do the same thing and win if I wanted to win big. And that same thing I had to teach to other people, which was a zip code and some other things that I had to teach. But my standards were high, and therefore my retention was super high. Because when they understand what you're asking them to do, and you teach on that same thing, and everybody talks that same language, and everybody's clear about where we're going, everything rises because it's over and over and over again. And so you don't keep changing it. You stop being so flexible with it and you start saying, if you can't do that, you come to me so I can explain what you're doing wrong. Not, you don't have to do that anymore. Giving people serious out. No. And then we're on to the last one. You ready? Here it is. You don't have a system, you have effort. Effort is exhausting, system scale. So I want you to think you are phenomenal at doing the same thing over and over without systems. It's this same effort, running back and forth, doing the same effort, never learning how to do it better, never learning how to have a system in place. Small systems, big systems. Okay, so I travel a lot. And right now I've been traveling a lot. And if you watch my stories, and if you're not on my um social media watching my stories, I'll personally kill you. I'm from Detroit. I know I can find you. Okay, I'll find you. So Latoya was over this morning because we have to I fly to Atlanta. And I have a app on my iPad that talks about everything I pack. I print it out, I check it off. It's the same things, you guys. It's the system of the same thing so I can move quickly. Why are you always evaluating and changing things when you haven't given it enough time to work out? Someone says to me, well, Gloria, why do you have a house manager that packs for you? Because if I pack and unpack myself, number one, I'm frustrated. Number two, I can't find anything. And number three, I pack so often that I don't want to not like traveling because I have to do what I don't want to like to do. So therefore, guess what I want to do? Increase my income, increase my freedom, pay someone else to do it for me. Does that make sense? That's what we're all trying to do, you guys. You increase your freedom. It doesn't mean you don't have to do the things that have to be done. It just means that you don't have to be the one that does it. Right? And it is the system, not the effort. And that's why, when I teach my one-on-one coaching, which is the FIRE framework, and people say, Gloria, I want to understand. It's write down the word fire so that you understand, so you understand how this works. It's focus, it's influence, it's results, it's execution. Fire, focus, influence, results, and execution. This is one of the reasons you hear me say a lot, 8333, 8333, 8333. When a woman understands how to make $8,333 a month, she's making $100,000 a year. Then she goes to 16666. She's making $200,000 a year. Then you go to 25000, $25,000 a month. A month is $300,000 a year. It is not unattainable, you guys. It's not unattainable. And guess what? It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else is paying you that money. You can make it for yourself as an entrepreneur. You truly can. And that's why I make these master classes, because I really believe that people don't understand it. Okay. So if this training hits you, if you feel there's tension, Glory, tension, it's where you are and where you're moving to. There's gaps in your framework, and the framework is what causes performance. The framework causes performance to be repeatable so that what you do is here and grows and grows and grows. And you have a team that works with you. So that's why I did the breakthrough accelerator. This is how you take yourself from what you learn to what you get to install. I learned, I installed it into your week, your decisions, and your execution. There's 6 pillars. Okay, so here's what I want you to know that people are misunderstanding. At where we are, you guys, at where we are as successful women, listen to me carefully. It's not smart to buy things that you don't use and that you don't study. It's one thing to listen to something, but it's another thing to study. I used to tell people that you're studying when you have a notebook, a pen, and a highlighter. Otherwise, you're just reading. There's a difference. And I wouldn't want anybody to just get the breakthrough. I want you to use the breakthrough. I want to give everybody who's left me these crazy comments about our personalized chat GPT, who thinks like I think. Let's just say often, I won't say when, but often I feed her this brain over and over and over again. And people have been getting crazy results. The words that I use, the thought process that I have, the energy that I give. How do you do it? It's right there in the chat GPT. And everybody who gets the breakthrough gets this personalized chat GPT. It's crazy. It's really crazy how excited I am when people call me and tell me I got the answer I was looking for. I just didn't understand it. And then chat explains it to her and she's gone. The 6 pillars. Okay, let's talk about this real quickly. Write these down so that you understand. Building influence. Get seen, get chosen, and move with authority. You have to increase your influence if you're going to land upon your purpose. Emotional mastery. Stay steady under pressure so you don't link your power. So for me, coming from 10 years of domestic violence, I can tell you what it's like to get caught in a spin wheel and not breaking out because I was emotionally tied. And then I can tell you what happened when I stopped being emotionally tied, when I stopped being in that emotional jail. Financial empowerment. Tighten up what you tolerate so income can rise. I mean, a detailed understanding of where can it change? What can I do? Where do I put my time? Specifically understanding what the difference is and why I'm not able to change. Because you guys, listen, once you know why you haven't been able to change, it's easier to change. Nobody wants to get to retirement and be broke. Hello. Nobody wants to feel like they have to work forever. Hello. And why do you have to wait so long before you travel the world? Hello. Or do you have to keep going to the same itsy bitsy teeny weeny vacation resort instead of the sprawling world that's in front of you because of financial? The zip code, where I get to break it down. And I even added to it recently because of the comments and the questions that you guys asked. But the zip code method is, it wasn't just for me. It was, how do you build other millionaires? How do you build other successful people? How do you build other people who can duplicate their income, double and triple their income? And why does it work so effectively that people still talk about it? Even people change it to make it work for them. But I'm telling you, if you keep it tight, like I teach it, I mean tight, like I teach it, whatever you spend on this breakthrough will be minute compared to what you gain. Leadership excellence. Raise standards without carrying the weight alone. How do you keep retention? How do you keep people happy with you? How do you keep people engaged? How do they lean into what you're talking about instead of running away? And then time management. Build a week that pays you back. Build a week that pays you back over and over and over again. It's not supposed to pay you like this, you guys. A lot of people work like this. You have to work like this. And you have to know where to put your time when we're in a world where so much is going on. So it's big. It's behind the scenes series. It's only available with the breakthrough because I recorded some extra things, how I plan my 90-day goals and stay focused on consistent wins. You guys, write this down. Learn the art of winning. Learn the art of winning. Of the real story behind how I created my strategy and broke records. What did I do to come from this broken, beat up wife and mother to someone who owned the stage, owned the, just owned it, 100%, owned the room, all of it. How I reset my mindset and stayed powerful, centered, and unshakable. Oh, this is one of my best because people are like, Gloria, when you deal with so many women, how do you stay narrow? How do you not let them take you or drain you? What is the expectation that you put in front of other people so that you can lead them to go bigger and stronger and more powerful than they did ever before in life? And also, you guys, how do you identify when there was a time when you were just fierce and you're not feeling fierce right now? You had to get back there. So, there's a masterclass bonus. 3 months inside the Superbad community. That's my You're Never Alone community, and it is powerful, packed with ideas. So Superbad is my private coaching circle of ambitious women who are serious about the growth and listen to me trying to read the growth and the next level they know they're capable of. Okay, so this is way back to when we were talking before about never being alone, never being outside the circle. Here's everything that's included: the core trainings, the workbooks, the bonus series, the breakthrough, chat GPT, the personalized chat GPT breakthrough, and then the super bad community for 3 months in it. You're never alone. And when you decide to make this type of investment, having someone surround you with the next push is important. It's $397. The value is $2,329 for sure. It's normally $497, but we took it down to $397. And you can go to gnblive.com/6. You can put it in the chat right now, and we'll make sure that you get the link because you said I am not living in lack. Because you said I need this core training. And I'm not just going to listen, I'm going to learn. You said, my gosh, if I invest this, I will make way more than this. Or it's not a good idea. The real breakthrough, real women. You've opened my eyes to things I hadn't realized in 16 years of being in business. I'm finally thinking differently about my finances and building stability with confidence. Confidence, confidence, confidence. Cheryl said, this season hit home. I've spent too long working quietly. Oh my goodness. Now I'm speaking up, being seen, and sharing my story. I know it's going to grow my business. That immediately speaks to the influence showing up for others. You hit the hammer on the nail, Gloria. So many nuggets in this session. I'm mastering emotional management, especially how I lead other women. And the zip code. This training changed my business 14 years ago and still sustains itself. So start your breakthrough and say yes. Oh my gosh, you guys, I want to tell you the story. While I was in Europe, I met a woman who's a student in college. And the reason she was there, not because she said yes, and not because her mother said yes, but because her her grandmother said yes. So the things you guys do right now is not just for now, and it's not just for you. You have to know that. So say yes to faster results, proven strategy, and immediate access to systems and skills that build your success. Instant access, 6 pillars, and the chat GPT. Turn yourself into a champion in many ways because it matters. Oh, and if you start this breakthrough, this is what will happen. And you check that little box. You see that little box? You claim your 3 months. You claim your 3 months and it immediately goes to your email and you can start with me right now. Whoo, way to start the weekend. Right now, start it right now, and you can get your breakthrough. And it's really for all that you get and all that it will change for you. And remember this too. This is what I knew when I was learning. I always knew that what I was learning wasn't just for me, but I learned it in a way in which I could deliver it to someone else. Because what I had to share with people built leaders. And that was important for me. Okay. I'm going to come off screen. I'm going to give you guys a chance to look at the breakthrough. Um, and then I'm getting ready to go to my VIPs. I'm just looking here to see if I can see my YouTube. Hi, YouTube people. I'm here with you. Yes. Yes. Your breakthrough is a big deal. Your breakthrough is a big deal. And I don't want you to shy away. I don't want you to shy away from where you're capable of doing, where you're capable of shining. Okay, to my VIPs, I'm super excited. Okay, so listen, you guys. Number one, I want to look at you seriously and tell you from this day to 30 days from now, I want to see a difference. From today to 30 days from now, you want to show a difference. We're not talking about 6 months. We're not talking about 90 days. I want you to pick something where you can see a significant difference. It's got to meet this code, though. It's got to be something that challenges you. It's got to be something that takes you out the comfort zone. It's got to be something that makes you feel uncomfortable so that the growth is there. Staying comfortable will absolutely not grow you. And I get to answer and talk to some of you on my VIPs. So, who's going to be the first to hit that raise your hand button on the bottom of your Zoom and ask me a question? I'm excited about it.
I am waiting to see a hand. Or you can let me know in the chat. If you can't find the hand, let me know in the chat if you have a question for Gloria, if you're on the VIP. Don't worry, we won't put you on camera. People can only see Gloria unless you're in the VIP room. I know Gloria has different opinions, but don't worry.
Lori, did your hand go up?
Lori Bailey?
Yeah.
Yes,
Perfect.
that's me.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Lori. How are you?
I'm so amazing. I am so happy that you are here because you make everyone better. I promise.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
So,
you.
um, the last time I was on, not last month, but a couple of months ago, we had talked about the emotional management when something really like rocks your world.
Yeah.
So along that same line, like I lost my job. I lost my job and it was a high profile job and it was very public the way it
Yes.
happened and incredibly painful
Yes.
how it happened. Um, Oddly enough, I've not been able to find a job.
Yes.
So how do I switch my mindset from getting up and going to work to working on my own business that I know that I know that I know can bring me everything that I want?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So I got a couple of thoughts for you. And I want everybody to listen to this because I honestly believe that when someone asks a question, it's not just for them, it's for those that are listening. So, number one, three of the most painful things that you can experience is the loss of a job, loss of a spouse, and loss of a child. Those are the three most painful things that can happen. So, number one, you have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself grace because it's so easy to put those emotions and misplace them. Number two, everything that happens to us has a better outcome. Everything that happens to us has a better outcome. And for those of you who are old enough, like you're over 18, hello, and you've been faced with some massive challenges, I always tell people to go back and take a look at what was once thought to be a massive challenge and find the blessing that you didn't see at the time of the challenge, that you might have saw months later or years later, so that, Lori, there's a light that shines brightly. And you get to turn the light on or off by the statement. I don't know what the blessing is, but I know it's coming. It's the statement. Okay. The next thing I want you to know is there's an employee mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset. You've got to understand the difference and adapt it. Are you choosing to be an entrepreneur because of your business?
Yes, and it's
Okay.
a business that I've done for many years
Okay.
as a hobby.
Okay. The difference from you doing a little bit to doing a lot is in the knowing. It's in the knowing people want this product. It's in the knowing that you're good at the presentation. It's in the knowing that you have communication skills. It's in the knowing that people have the income to pay for it. It's in the knowing that you have the ability to pivot. It's in the knowing that you have the ability to excitingly lead some people. It's in the knowing that you know how to teach. It's in though you need to make a list. Seriously, a list of the 20 things you know and then the 10 things that are stopping you. Because I'm here to tell you the one thing that stops people from being an entrepreneur when they could be an entrepreneur and they're not is people's opinions. And we get stuck on their opinions, on their no or their yes. It stops people from being strong in sales. People who are strong in sales, you guys, they're not selling. People who are strong in sales are not selling. People who are strong in sales are offering people an opportunity to get something that they've always wanted. Better skin, better homes, better cars, better clothes, and to enjoy the experience on the journey. It is absolutely true. I might be able to guess what it is that you're thinking about doing. And it is absolutely true that I know there's crazy income that can be created. But here's what I know happens is there's so much noise, you guys can't hear what's in front of you. There's so many people complaining that it makes you doubt what's there in front of you. It's so much confusion that you cannot erase without, okay, so I get lost in the sauce sometimes. I get lost in the sauce. So this morning when I woke up, my husband decided to sleep a little bit longer. So I was down there in the kitchen, and next thing you know, I put on Instagram. Next thing you know, I was listening to somebody's reel. Next thing you know, it was loud. Next thing you know, he calls me on his phone, and I answer like I was being too loud, huh? I mean, that Instagram was screaming the reel at him because I was caught in the sauce. And if you stay caught in the sauce, you lose your ability. So um, that breakthrough, Lori, will cause you to kill it on the zip code.
Yeah.
Lori, don't say to yourself, I've heard it before. Listen with a different intent and take away your options, Lori. Decide, am I going to win here or am I going to look around for more? Because you have to know, you have to really know that people are buying it and they want to be served and they want to be led. And I'm here to tell you there's probably no better time because we're strong, it's stable, and the reality is that people want to feel community. They really, really want to feel led by an excited person who's passionate about what they're doing. And let me tell you something, a person who can shut out the noise is very attractive to someone who wants different. A person who can shut out the noise. They don't get caught up in the complaining. They don't get caught up in the lack, and they don't get caught up in what's not working. They're only caught up in what is working. So remember, I mean, does that help you?
Yes.
And all you need to figure out, Lori, is this week. From this Saturday to the next one. What am I going to do? Where am I going to challenge myself? And where am I not going to procrastinate?
Okay.
And be loud in the community, Lori. Be loud in the community. Because you guys, you don't want to be lonely, but you do want to be a star that's alone. Superstars do not travel in packs. I'm just here to say. Great question. Great question.
Thank
VIP
you.
yourself. VIP yourself, girl. Okay, who's next? Who's got a question? And don't be shy or I'll kill you.
I am not seeing any questions in the chat. Let me
Because you know I'll
just
call you out. Who wants to go on blast with me? Who wants to have like a one-on-one with me like right now in my VIPs?
You know, I am going to tell you someone who's here.
Okay.
Vivian Kalenda's here.
Vivian.
Vivian. She's trying to hide. I saw her turn off her camera.
She's like, don't be calling me out.
Oh, I know.
Hey, did you come back from Boston?
I got back from Boston. My daughter graduated, have the BC shirt on. Woohoo! And then probably came home and got sick, but that's okay. I'm much better now.
Did you get sick in Boston?
No, I think
Oh.
I caught it from all the kids, and they spent the senior week drinking way too much and staying up all night, and they all got sick, and
Yeah.
so did I.
Okay,
that's
so
okay.
Vivian
Yes.
is working closely with me. So ask me a question, Vivian. It's not necessarily a question for you, but ask me a question that you think, okay, and then Charlene has a question. But ask me a question, Vivian, that you think other people want to know the answer to.
Well, it's the starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And I mean, I get going and then I go to Boston and I stop and then I get sick and I'm staying stopped. And then I love the zip code. Love
Yes.
the zip code.
Yes.
But I'm so inconsistent. How do
Okay.
we keep the consistency going when life interferes?
Okay. If you notice that that's the pattern, and some of you may understand that as a pattern, you've made it too hard for yourself. You have to build consistently with, like, pick one thing. Let's say it's 5 new leads every day. That's hard to do. Then start with 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Some days you hit 5, but 2 was the number. 2, 2. Sometimes you hit 3, but 2 is the number. 2, 2. Pretty soon 2 gets to be so easy for you. Then it's 3, 3, 3. So in other words, you start at the top and then it stop, because remember what I said, it's not that you're incapable, it's that you're inconsistent. So what's the definition of being consistent? Right?
Doing
It's
it all the time.
yeah, so you've made, okay, so remember I talk about, what's right in front of you, or 5 steps ahead or 10 steps ahead, right? And you guys get mad because you say to yourself, "Oh, I've been doing this so long, I should already be able to get 5 names. I should be able to do beat up, beat up, beat up, beat up, beat up, beat up." Then you can't sleep, then you wake up in the morning, beat up, beat up, I gotta go outside, and then all this conversation, and you don't celebrate because you set the bar too high to become really good. And then it's month 1, then it's month 3, then it's month 6. So, Vivian, I would tell you to lower the bar, kill the bar, and then take it higher. And you guys, this is not just in this industry. This is in all industries. My trainer, yeah, she wants me to lift 200 pounds, but she doesn't start me at 200 pounds. She starts me way below. Okay. She starts me way below, because if she starts me there, I'm going to leave her. I'm going to be in pain and I'm going to find another way. And the other way I find is not going to work because unless I find someone that's smarter to understand. So as an entrepreneur, you got to be smart yourself and you got to start at a baseline. So Vivian, for example, when you're traveling and it's a lot going on, and I know that you had a lot going on in the consistency, do you think you could do 2 a day?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm on an
Yes.
airplane, I'm doing this, I'm moving. Da, 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 da. You see what I'm saying? You
Yes.
guys
Yes.
know what the bar is, but create a path for you to get there. And when you get there, you'll stay there. And evaluate. All of you, find out where you are inconsistent and then become consistent. And the other thing is, know where you need help. Like for me right now, I don't have a social media team the way I need to have a social media team. Ask me if I was in the UK for a week and posted not as much as I should have. Because so the first thing I got to do is find that person. I got to do something until I find that person. But I can't beat myself up because it's not where I wanted to be. I get the support. Does that help you? Does that help all of you?
Yes.
Okay. See, Vivian, you're so smart. You know how to ask the right questions. So smart. And that is a very important piece, you guys, because here's what I want to tell you. It's not that it's hard. It's that you haven't built the muscle. And one of the reasons you can't build the muscle is because you're too busy beating yourself over what you missed instead of celebrating where you could kill it.
Well, and that's me for sure, because
Yeah.
I can get 5 here and 5 there and then 2, but then it's like, oh my gosh, loser, loser, loser. I haven't gotten 5 a day. And
That word, you cannot use that word, loser, loser. Cannot use that word. Just like anyway, this chick said the word, I'm so old. I was like, girl, you can't use that word old. Old is not a word, okay? Don't describe yourself with that word or you're going to become that word. Don't describe yourself as tired or you're going to become tired. Don't describe yourself as anything. You are not, don't use that word loser. You're never a loser. You might have been a lesser, but you're not a loser, okay? So let's do less
love that.
and do it often and build the muscle and kill the game.
Love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great question. Charlene.
Hi, Gloria.
Hi, how are you?
I am awesome. I am loving this. You said, and what Vivian just asked you, that totally connects with me. You
Yeah.
told me, don't let anyone stop you.
Yes.
You're capable. My problem is my own mindset.
Mhm.
You said you're the only one, but I'm the one that's in the way.
Yes.
And my question is, and it comes from I don't have that team, like you said, but I don't have that role model around me to know.
Yes.
A lot of times I have already broken some of the ceilings, like you said, or some of the goals
Yeah.
that my family or those around me have not reached.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm reaching for. I know that sounds silly, but
No.
I know what I see in others. I watch you, I watch different people who I admire, and I'm like, wow, I can do that.
Yeah.
But when you say, where are you right now? I don't have the people and I don't know how to go beyond where I see myself now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I
Yes.
know I know it's attainable because
Mhm.
I've already attained
Yes.
more than I've seen in my own life,
Mhm.
but I don't know how to get to my next. And
Right.
when you say that knowing what your next is the next important part, I feel lost because I'm like, okay, I know the outcome I want. I don't know the path to that outcome.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple of questions because that's a really good statement that you have because the confusion that you're faced right now is real, number one. And number two, you can't grow when it's blurry,
Okay.
right? You can't grow when it's blurry and you don't know where that next piece is going. And so when you Are you operating in a field where there's not a clear goal in front of you, or there are goals in front of you, just none of them feel good to you? Or are you in a situation where you have to create it because it's not placed in front of you? Tell me a little bit more about your situation.
So I
Let me
am.
just say this too.
Mhm.
When you've excelled past your current circle,
Mhm.
it does cause blurriness.
Okay.
It causes blurriness because the clarity of what's next isn't slapping you in the face. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm in the medical field,
Yeah,
um, and I work. Some would say successfully. I have my doctorate in that field.
yeah,
So for me, being in school was that measuring stick because I always attain to make the grade, and so I'm a
right.
good student, you
Yeah,
know. So I have my doctorate, but the field itself, there's not a whole lot of room for me to excel where I'm at now. Um,
at the company you are right now, or
I would say in the not I would say because I'm a nurse practitioner, so I would say in the field, in the realm that I'm in.
right.
Um, but I know there's capabilities because there's some things I want to do. I
Hmm.
want to write a book. I want to do the sales because I want to be in charge of my own income. So there's things that I want to do outside of clocking in and being at a job.
Right. Okay. Love it. Love it. Okay. So if I were you and I look at that zip code, I would say the first place that you should go is the 3 conversations a week.
Okay.
It's 3 hard conversations a week because the first thing you need to do is you need to expose your mind to different options. And so it's really either I don't like necessarily taking people out to lunch too much. It's like having a cup of coffee with people because taking people to lunch can be very expensive. But I like going for a cup of coffee someplace. And here's what you need to know. People who have gone a path higher, faster, stronger, bigger than where you are right now love to share how.
Mhm.
You just have to, number one, have the ability to ask them, and number two, have to sometimes wait for when they're available, when their time is there. But once they get to talking, they don't stop because one of the things that they do love is the purpose of their influence.
Mhm.
And I think what's happened for you is that there's a lack of imagination where you can go. And there's other people who have done that. And their journey is not clear to you because they don't talk about their journey. If you're not in a profession where people talk about their journey, they take the journey. They were once confused like you were. They got clarity like you're going to get. You got a PhD. That means there's a lot of evidence of proof. You guys, you have to be very careful out there because there's people that are teaching that have very loud conversations but have never done anything.
Mhm.
But because they're so loud, they're persuasive, but they haven't done it. And then there's some that have done it, but they do it quietly. You'll never know. They're not loud about it. So it takes a personal invitation to say, can I take you to have a cup of coffee? So Charlene, honestly, I would tell you, because you can't do it within your current circle. The only thing your current circle can maybe do is get you some names of people that are beyond you. But I want to invite your courage to be at a place where you reach out to people and say, do you have a half an hour? And to tell them what you just said. I don't really know what to ask you in this conversation. I just want you to know here's where I know I'm capable, and I'm really trying to get clarity on finding the passionate next place for me to go. Because from that conversation, you'll find out, is it a book? Is it an event? Is it a recreation of a course? Is it a promotion? Is it switching jobs? Is it switching mentors? But here's what we know that most women do is they sit and try to figure it out by themselves. So just go ahead and lay your hand out, turn it over, cut the major vein, then turn it back like this, and put your hand back and let the blood run out fast. Because that's the fastest way to choke yourself, is to sit around trying to figure it out by yourself. and it will absolutely kill you. Does that make sense? That was a great question. Very great question. Thank you for being transparent about that, because you guys, those 3 conversations, again, listen to me again. If the 3 conversations were difficult, then you get 1 conversation. And then you start with 2 conversations. And then you start with 3 conversations. Pretty soon those conversations will get so juicy, you'll be like, oh my God, you can't even fit them all in, because each one of those people will lead you to more people. Excellent. I think we have time for 1 or 2 more questions, 1 or 2 more VIP questions up in here.
While they think about it, I have one question for you. Let me just
Okay.
pull it up real quick. Okay, she's saying, I can bring women to the table, but how do you get them to the next step, like activating and starting their business?
Okay. Excellent question. Excellent question. Most people who have a hard time getting people to their next step to stick it have not dived into that person's life deep enough. They're so busy telling them what they should do, they haven't spent enough time figuring out why they want it in the first place. So if I bring somebody to the table and she's on my team or he's on my team, the first thing I do is I let them know what my vision is for where we're going. Not what they need, where we are going. The second thing is why I chose that place. Why did I choose that place to go to? Because people will follow a vision. Where are we going? It doesn't have to be impressive. It has to be understandable. And number 3, why am I so passionate about that? Because if you want me to follow you, I need to understand you too. And then the next thing I'm going to say is, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me the things that, oh, I'm like, why is that moving like, oh, tell me the things that I would not know if you didn't tell me. Like, not something I'm going to find out from you 3 months from now, but tell me something about yourself. Tell me, I'm going to say to them, tell me about a time when you were amazing. And when they tell me about a time when they were amazing, it increases their confidence in themselves. You guys, they have to feel confident to listen to you. And when they say, well, I don't know, when you dig, because there's nobody that's 18 years or older that hasn't done something significant. Before you start telling them what to do, you tell them about, you get them thinking about when they were strong, right? And then simplify what they do next. I think people overwhelm people. Simplify what they do next. What is the next thing they need to be informed about, they get studied for, or that they need to study for, and where are they going to get seen? I think that people struggle with leading people because they think the more complicated it is, the more impressed people are. And they're not impressed with the complexity. They're impressed with the simplicity. The other thing, the last thing I would say is I let them articulate, when you do this, what type of joy are you giving to the person in front of you? Do you understand the magnitude of what you're doing for the person in front of you? I honestly believe that when I sell, I'm allowing you to experience something you've always wanted to experience, but didn't have the path to do it, the confidence to do it, the courage to do it, or the income to do it. So that's why I'm here to help you work that out. I hope that helps whoever asked that question, because that was a great question. Absolutely. Does anybody else have a comment or a question or
This
Something
has
they
been
want
a
some clarity
very
on. I'm
shy
sorry?
VIP group. I said this has been a very shy VIP group. I don't see
Yes.
any new questions in the
You guys are
chat.
quiet. Why are you so
Yes.
quiet?
We're not posting
Anybody else?
everything. I don't see any questions in the chat here.
Okay.
We got
Uh-oh.
one.
Got a hand up.
Brandy.
Brandy, is that your hand up?
Brandy. Yes. Brandy, if you want to unmute yourself. There she
Yeah.
goes.
Thank you. Thank you. So working with a team of women, I know we joked and said it can be exhausting.
Yes.
But it's especially exhausting when they do not communicate, when they don't respond.
Yeah.
And I do understand that there is a sense of the ego, right? Being frustrated. But what are some tips that you might have that could help wake up a team?
Yes. I love that. Okay. So first thing I'm gonna tell you something. Whenever I've been dealing with the issue with the team, I tell the team, I'll say, you guys, we got an issue of communication or communicating back and forth. Like I send stuff out, nobody says anything. I send stuff out, no one's talking to me. I send stuff, what's going or we get on a Zoom, nobody has their face on it. They're not showing up, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about how to make your time more valuable. Because I think that if there's something that we're frustrated with or I'm frustrated with in terms of the team, it's something that I could do better. So let me know. I want you honestly. That's number one. I say it loudly. Number two, I make phone calls to them and give them an opportunity. And I'm going to say, Susan, this is Gloria calling. And guess what? You know what? The team has been super quiet. The VIPs have been super quiet. So I'll say, tell me in your estimation, what do you think is going on? And I want you to know I'm all ears and nothing you can say will hurt me. It'll inform me. So tell me what you honestly think. Let me tell you why I'm interested in knowing it from you. So I want her to know I'm seeing her. You've been one who's been very involved and now you're not. Maybe something's going on. I don't know. Or something that I've done or something that you're not excited. I want to find. So I'm going to dig and I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to do it some one-on-one. After you do 4 or 5 of those conversations, you're going to get a way better understanding of what's going on. And then the other thing I will tell you, I always tell a leader, I want you to evaluate what's going on with the new. Because if you don't have enough new, you are spending your time with the same. And when you spend the time with the same, you don't get new energy. And when a leader is dealing with the same, expecting better energy, she gets very discouraged. And it leads back to number one, when you're working hard, but on the wrong things. Saving people who don't want to be saved instead of finding new people who want to grow. Does that make sense, Brandy?
Yes, love it.
Yeah, because there's something really magical when you understand the power of the new instead of the same. And guess what? The new wake up the existing. The existing do not wake up because they want to wake up. They wake up because who is she? She just came in here and she's killing the game. Oh no. Let me show her with my 6 months of experience. Or, they wake up when they have some competition, especially if you're in sales performance. Competition, you need to ask yourself as leaders, do I instill competition amongst my clients, amongst my team members, amongst my leaders? Why? Competition is not negative. Your iron and my iron makes a fire. And so people shy away from the competition because of the negative impression that it's had us on in the past. But really, iron sharpens iron. Period. In the conversation. In sales, you're up against a performance. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. Great question. Great. Hi, Diane. You're on mute.
Unmute.
Hi everyone, how are you guys doing?
Oh, we're great.
Okay, so I was very struck by when you said you don't have a system, you have effort. That
Yeah.
spoke a lot to me because I'm in my current role, I am leading 90 individuals, and I jumped on this call, like I literally ran to jump on this call because I feel like I'm in this role, I'm enjoying the role, but the synergy of it's not there.
The
And I want,
synergy.
yeah, the synergy is not there. I feel like when I like my team is not as motivated as they could be.
Yes,
And so that in my world resides with me. What am I doing as a leader
yes.
to motivate them to feel energized to be the best of themselves? And it's I'm right now I'm in the field of higher ed. I lead faculty members. So it's the question I had in my mind was, am I doing it the right way? How can I apply some of the beautiful things I've learned from you over the years to make it happen? And I
Mhm.
said, I'm going right back to the source, which I've always been connected but not actively engaged in. So that's my
I
yeah.
like that term, connected but not actively engaged. That's really
Right.
good. Brandy, that's a good statement for your people too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Connected but not actively
But
engaged.
not
Yeah, Diane, that's good.
actively engaged, and that makes so much of a difference. So my question is, could you elaborate a little bit more on that statement, your system? You don't have a system, you have effort.
Yes, yes. Oh, okay, let me take that back. Let me say this to you too. For those of you who are wondering, that breakthrough system will answer some of the questions that you hear many of the VIPs talking to. So I'm going to lead that back to that, Diane. But I do want people to know that in that breakthrough system, when you're talking about taking a team of people in the same direction, it's really important. So here's what I want to tell you, Diane. Number one, create a place of pride. Create a place of pride. And it doesn't matter if you're dealing with people who are just entering or if you have a group of scholars and like 12 of them have PhDs. Everybody, if they're in any kind of group, must have a place of pride by being a part of it. And so there's a statement of what we're doing together. There's a theme for the year. Always create a theme for the year because people will attach to a theme and they're going to attach to your thought of that team, of that theme. So maybe the theme is we're going to dominate, or maybe the theme is that we're going to grow together, or maybe the theme is that we're going to do the uncommon, or maybe the theme is let's do something different so people experience something different. Think back, think about what you're telling them to do or where you want them to go, Diane, and create a theme that goes along with it. And you write it at the bottom of your emails, you write it at the bottom of the notes that you give to people when you text them. That theme is so prevalent. It's almost like you're branding the mission of right now,
Okay.
and you don't let it get old. You don't, it's not a team theme for 2 3 4 years. It's the right now theme. Maybe it's a theme to the end of the year, maybe it's a theme for the end of the quarter, maybe it's a theme for the month, but you got to create a theme for them to participate in because they latch on to the theme of what you're creating them to do. The pride is what are we doing as a group and what do you bring individually and what do you bring anything? And when you have that theme, like let's just say a theme I love is dominate. Like we're
Mhm.
gonna dominate. You're in the educational field, you said?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So we're gonna dominate in um changing people's give me something like what you're doing.
So at the in the field that I'm in, we're working with students, we're working on their dissertations. So they're en route to gaining that EDD that
Okay.
they're
Okay. So
working
let's say it's
toward.
the
Right.
dissertation. And you can change this all up, but let's say you want to dominate in the excellence of their dissertations,
I like that.
right? So, um, but Sam does this part, and Judy does this part, and so does this part, and so does this part. But all of us are working to make sure our students dominate in the excellence of their dissertation. So, everything you write, it's going to either be a D or it's going to be a dominate or it's going to be an in the excellence of. And so people start to galvanize with pride. and like when they come into a meeting and they have a good suggestion. Now that's how we're going to dominate. Now that's how we're going to bring them excellence. Do you see what I'm saying? They light up not with what they supposed to do. They light up with what they get to do.
I love that.
And what's the theme? Where are we making a difference? Where am I causing a impact? Write those three things down. Where is your team increasing their influence? Where they're increasing their impact? And where are they increasing their income so that they have more purpose, so they have something to track and be accountable to? And where are they going to increase their freedom because of it? You can start that with the newest person, or you can do that with your virtual assistant. You can do that with the vice president. But the bottom line is that takes it from an effort to a system of what we're creating together. Because the effort, Judy doing her part and not understanding how what she does increases the dominate of excellence of a dissertation, she's just doing the work. Nobody wants to do just work. Everybody wants to create something of substance because it's their impact, their influence, and their income, or their purpose, their accountability, and their freedom.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So that part is like super important. The pride of it all,
Yeah.
even with new people, the pride of it all. Where can I make a difference and how can I be seen? The
I
good?
like what and you've said it before, I've heard it before from you, where you talk about competition not being bad. A
Right,
bad, because sometimes we hear like I remember there was a time in my life where I didn't like competition. And now I'm seeing it through a different light. It's what gets you to that next level that
right.
kind of pushes you beyond where you even thought you could go.
Absolutely.
So that part really resonates with me, and the part where you talked about the athletes, like I love track and field,
Yeah.
and I
Yes.
love basketball, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's the win. I love to see people win. I'm from Jamaica, so for track and field, I want to see my Jamaicans go out and
Right.
I'm cheering them on.
And that's
But
pride.
yeah, that's a
That's
pride,
pride.
right? That's a
Yes.
pride. But the bigger piece for me is to watch what has to happen behind the scenes,
Right.
because that motivates me and kind of tells me that you have to go through those motions to get to that level. We're seeing like those 3 minutes of their effort, right? Or then that 9 minutes of their effort, or that
Right.
9 seconds rather of their effort. But there's so much that goes into it. And
Right.
sometimes I think, speaking for myself, I forget sometimes, even though I have attained a lot in my life, I sometimes forget that the small steps matter
Right.
on that route.
Exactly.
And
And
I'm
that's where
happy
we
you
beat
said that.
ourselves up. The small
Yeah,
steps matter a lot. And you
yeah,
have to let them know that their small steps matter. I think
yeah,
as leaders, we want so many superstars that we don't understand that to build superstars, you build them one step at a time, not leaps at a time, but steps. They're seen, they feel good, they want to take more steps. But if they always feel like they're not good enough, if they always feel like it's never enough, if they don't understand discouragement as a piece of it, if they don't understand that they have self-doubt, if they don't understand that they have to build their courage, no matter what their background are, if they don't understand that confidence is the key to creating a bigger place for them to have more influence, more impact, and more income, if they are not building their confidence, then they're taken away from their confidence. And that's where the leadership comes into place. And that's why that's why you can shine. You can take a team from 30 to 300 to 3,000 to 30,000. You can do that, but you have to do it understanding what is the major platform that they have to build upon. And that's why the performance code is so important. That's why the breakthrough is so important. And the people who use the breakthrough, who listen to it over and over again and don't get caught with, oh, $400. They get caught on, I'm gonna take this $400 and I'm gonna make 4,000, I'm gonna make 40,000. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger because they get the skill set associated. Great question. You guys, let's end this right now. I'm so glad that you guys were here. I'm so glad that you guys stay with me and that you're connected. I hope to see you inside the community for sure. The Q&A is powerful. We do this kind of Q&A every month inside the Superbad community, and it's just really powerful. And I'm looking for more very strong, successful, ambitious women to join us. I love you lots. I'll talk to you later. Bye, you guys. See ya.